Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to the party. We are going to be playing some Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 edition. You might notice more faces, new faces, different layout. It's all very beautiful. So, first of all, before I say anything about me and who any of these other lovely people are, huge thank you to the co-founder of Welcome to the Party, Throck, for creating this lovely new overlay, that's the word for us. Also, as per always, a huge shout out and thank you to Welcome to the Party sponsors, those being Tabletop Loot. Hey, do you have money? Not anymore, you have dice.
I like
One
it.
of these days, oh no, Archer's entire cameras are all going to go wrong because
No.
it's fine, I'll keep talking. Don't pay attention to the cameras. We also are sponsored by the delightful Devon Rue, the mistress of maps. Go and check out her work. And if you don't know who she is the cartographer for I don't think it's a well-known show, Critical Role. I don't know, something. She drew the maps for that thing. It's apparently, it's like one. It's basically this, but not as good. So. And our third sponsor is So Nerdwear. If you want nerdy t-shirts and mugs and other cool things, go and check out So Nerdwear. All of that stuff should be linked down below, I think. I think that's where we've got our stuff. If not, you can find it somewhere. It's somewhere on this channel, and if it's not, it's in the Discord server, which you should go check out. Link is down below. And if it's not there, it might be mentioned somewhere else on many of the wonderful places you can follow Welcome to the Party, such as Twitter at Welcome Party RPG. Do that, it's great. Over on YouTube, in case you missed anything, which is youtube.com/welcome to the party. There's a Patreon, which if you type in !Patreon into the Twitch chat, you'll get all the information there, and I believe the link is down below. And there is also right here on Twitch, if you're watching this somewhere else, which is twitch.tv/Welcome Party RPG. Please click buttons to make numbers go higher. That helps algorithms and other computer words I only kind of understand. If you subscribe here on Twitch, you get to give a free crit advantage. You get to give stuff to a player or DM of your choice for every month you are subscribed, which is awesome. If you can't subscribe for various reasons, but you have some money you'd like to throw at the game, you can do so by throwing bits. For 500 bits, you can affect the game in a small way. So give a crit, maximum damage, etc., etc. For 1,000 bits, you can affect the game in a large way, like an NPC you design just comes into existence. A dragon swoops in and does something. Primrose doesn't die. I don't know. Something.
Oh. Ouch. Jesus.
Yeah.
Just twist the knife.
So, with all of that done, I've said all of the words about the channel and whatnot, and you're probably wondering, who's this person? Well, I can tell you, I'm the Bardic Knock. It's right there under my face, and you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Patreon, all Bardic Knock. Well, the Bardic Knock. Come on, learn to speak. And I'm going to be dungeon mastering this group of people. I don't know what's going to happen, so it's going to be fun. Oh gosh, the layout's new and different. I don't know who to throw it at first to introduce themselves. You know what? Let's throw it to Don't Blink, the person who arrived and ruined all of Archer's handy dandy camera work. Don't Blink. Who are you?
That's what you get.
Don't Blink. I play Vako. Magical powers like ruining Archer's cameras.
Okay. And right below Don't Blink, we have, of course, Archer. Archer, who are you?
What's up? My name is Archer of the Eye, and I am playing the Knoll Knight /Scout /Divine Crusader.
So many slashes.
Yes, there's a lot of slashes.
Well, we're going to find out what that can do. I don't know when we'll find it out. Maybe. But it's going to be fun. Below Archer, we have our brand new face, and it's a lovely, amazing, beautiful face. We're so glad to have it. We have Shan. Shan, what is your name? Where can I find you on the internet? And what imaginary voice are you letting control you tonight?
I'm Shannon, Shannologic across all the internets, and I will be playing Greg, the half-orc gunslinger. Very excited.
It's going to be so much fun. And we're going to throw in and learn all about Greg. And Greg's partner in crime, I guess is what we're going to call them, with Rebecca. Rebecca, so lovely to see your face, by the way. Who are you? And how are you?
I'm good. I just moved, so that's that's exciting. I'm Rebecca. I'll be playing. I'm not used to this now. Utswa, the dwarf warlock.
So, we've got a gunslinger and a warlock. I'm sure they're going to be perfectly reasonable, calm individuals.
Probably.
Yes. We'll say
I
yes.
mean, they
for
can't
him.
be worse than the current party. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Oh,
speaking
okay.
of calm and
Challenge
reasonable,
leveled.
speaking of calm and reasonable individuals, right beneath Rebecca, we have Cody. Cody, who are you?
Hello, my name is Cody. I play Kid the Dark Horse, and he is an Eldritch Knight, which, if you guys don't know, that is like the perfect marriage of a gimped fighter and a gimped wizard put together to do something that is exactly the same as both those things put together. We're putting a lot of things together tonight. Mostly two
Yeah.
parties.
Yeah. And our final player, TJ. Who are you?
Hey. I am TJ, and I'm playing Flick, the Halfling Rogue.
Mm-hmm. And TJ, I'm
Lovable
really
and
sorry you
lighthearted
weren't
as
here.
always.
TJ, I'm
You
really
know?
sorry you weren't here. You missed. That's like the first, maybe the second session you've missed.
I know, and of all the episodes to not be there for. But hey, me and my kid had to be stuck waiting for a ferry for 5 hours, so
Coincidentally, so did we.
Oh, alrighty. So, said all the
Yeah,
things.
well done. Well done.
I did. I don't think I've missed anything, have I? I think I said everything of importance. Oh, another thing, by the way. Welcome to Party has merch. Do you like merch? Do you like things? Do exclamation point merch in my Twitch chat. Learn about it. Do it. Be great. Kitty.
Right before we get in, I don't think we gave like a big enough, warm enough, sloppy enough welcome to our newest member. So if everybody could just like reach out, can we do like a webcam hug circle? Come on, don't leave me hanging. Come on, guys, come on. There we go.
I don't have enough room.
Rebecca, come on, do it, Rebecca, do it. Come on, this is my
Oh,
peer
God.
pressure. This is me browbeating you into this. This is your evidence later in court. You can use it against me. Come on, just do it. Come on.
I did do it. I have cats.
All right, there we go. Delightfully awkward.
Yes.
I feel the love.
Well,
The
long as you-
painful love.
This is our brand. It's what we do.
yeah. All right, yeah. I did everything.
I think we're good now.
Yeah, we good?
I think that's the note we need to dive in on.
Okay, so following on from last session, stuff happened,
Just a little bit.
and instead of continuing that stuff in the middle of the forest, we are going to jump over to the city of Dunkirk.
Oh.
So everyone else, you can sit in the forest and cry.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, oh god, DMing. That's a thing I should do.
Oh god. Playing characters. Ah.
The city of Dunkirk, whilst no, not at one point, it still is quite a large metropolis. Definitely in contention for the place of capital city. At least there would have been a contention before Dundee got burned to the ground.
And now it's the only city.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So not a lot of contention.
Yeah, it's quite a nice city. At least it would have been before the evil, scary person showed up with an army of things that were once alive but then weren't, and are still moving and doing things. So yeah, he showed up with them. Kind of just walked in the front door and went, "I'm in charge now." And of course, people tried to fight that. You know, no one's gonna be like, "All right, cool," but they very quickly kind of stopped fighting that. Usually not of their own free will.
Due to a slight mishap with, being dead.
It kind of put a dampener on the whole resistance thing.
Is it dampener or is it damper? Is that another thing that we've bastardized?
I have no idea.
I will say last session so much smoother without.
I mean, like logically, I would say
for last week.
Logically, I would say it is a dampener because you dampen something, you make it damp.
All right, I'll let you have this one.
These two will make a lot of things damp today.
Shh! We're not supposed to know about lesbians yet.
Really? It's subtle? The lesbianism is subtle?
So subtle.
I thought my beard gave it away nicely. Got Archer to laugh from off screen, yes.
So, back to my god-awful DMing. Yes, so, the city. How to describe it? There was a tower on the western entrance, but, a bunch of, apparently, the first King Fife tore it down with his bare hands. And there are some rumors that a bunch of crazy people actually did it, but, who'd believe that?
Definitely the former is more believable. Clearly.
It was a very thriving city. It's built surrounded by two rivers, and it's got great access to the ocean. So there's a lot of ships and trade, at least there were before. Everything around it just seems to be covered in a deep, dark, macabre cloud of gloom. And it probably doesn't help that any of the members of the city guard who were not either outright slaughtered or imprisoned for trying to defend the city or rebelling against the self-appointed Sorcerer King, they have been coerced, and essentially all of the less than good aspects of humanity have been heightened. So, corruption, all that kind of stuff. So basically, the city guard watch is now occupied by a mixture of ghouls, vampires, and corrupt as hell people. It's just not very pleasant.
Oh, I love it.
And the
so
corrupt as hell
much.
people are the pleasant ones that you want to encounter amongst the guard.
Yeah, extortioners, racketeers, all
That's
of a
the
sudden,
best case scenario when dealing with the guard now. Okay.
yeah, any sense of decency has gone out the window. The easiest thing I can equate it to, it's not too dissimilar to like a Sheriff of Nottingham situation. So any one of these guards at any point can basically walk to any house or any shop and be like, "Hey, taxes now." And if you say no, well, either you get dragged away or everything in your house does. So it's not super pleasant currently. And in a small back alley, well, it's not a back alley, it's outer edges of the city, there's a small amount of commercial buildings still set up, usually made out of converted cottages or just quite homely, sensible things. That's where we're going to be starting today's session, with a delightful little boutique. Rebecca,
Mm.
what is the name of this delightful little boutique, and can you describe it to me, please?
Okay, I'll try my best. The most recent name was Le Fancy Goblin, but that may have changed. Very indecisive about that name. The owner is, at least.
They like to rebrand it all the time.
There's a pile of signs in the back room that just different names it has depending on the hour.
There is. I mean, that's just how they do. It's very confusing to all the.
It's actually clothing for when the goblins show up looking for a goblin clothing store. So, two birds, one bone.
Okay. But the shop itself looks very much like an old antique shop. It's probably been raided a couple of times at this point, but
Oh, it has
used
definitely been raided a couple of times at this
yeah,
point.
so normally it would have like typical antiques, some general stuff, traveler's goods, some handmade things, just random stuff. But it's a typical general store.
And just out of curiosity, because I know the two of you have discussed if there is any interconnectivity in your backstories, but having come from a city. Greg, are you in and around this store at this moment, or are you just... Where do you imagine you are in the city currently?
I'm definitely on my way to the store.
Even
In a
better.
hurry, too.
Okay, so we're not going to start in the store. We're going to start heading towards the store with Greg. Shan, can you please describe Greg? Like, you can go into ridiculous detail if you want to. You know, everything. I want to know, like, everything about this person.
Radio. Well, she's your typical half-orc, and at the same time, she's not. She's about 5'8", 183 pounds of don't fuck with me, and she exudes that with a lovely expression on her face most of the time. Hair that is not very well cared for in a messy bun. She's too busy working to give a shit about hygiene, honestly. And she wears the dirtiest floor-length duster coat that you have ever seen, which conceals the 2 pistols on her hip, does not conceal the pepperbox rifle on her back. She makes known she knows how to use it. So, with her cheerful demeanor, eyeing up the guards that she might pass, she's on her way to the Le Fancy Goblin.
And just out of curiosity, obviously, I don't know how much you've thought about this or anything. Is there, like, how has Greg's day been? Been standard, different? Are they feeling tired?
Well, when she woke up and headed down from her apartment above her own shop this morning, she found that her gnome master, who she'd been apprenticing under, left a note that said he'd up and left. And, he was leaving the shop to her because he didn't want to deal with the city and its craziness anymore. So she's a little pissed, a little hurt, a little confused, and going to basically the only friend she has in this city.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Shan, get ready to roll some dice for me. Well,
Oh, goody.
click some buttons, more appropriately. Okay, as you're walking, obviously mulling over all of these thoughts and feelings, can you please make a listen check for me?
I sure can once I find it. Oh, here we
Yeah.
go.
This is Shan's first foray into 3.5, so we're going to help her try and understand a lot of the stupid things which are in it. Okay, so a listen check of 10. Oh yeah, you hear this. Coming from behind you, you hear at first what sounds to be a high-pitched whirring, but then it gets louder and louder and slightly more shrill and kind of annoying, yet somehow maybe just a little bit endearing. Yeah, go on. I'll do the sound. Kind of sounds like. As running past you, in fact, no, they're gonna run through your legs. You see a small goblin with probably the worst attempt at a hair dye job you've ever seen, with flurries of splotchy pink in their hair as they just sprint past you and are running down the street.
Cody's so happy right now.
What in the hell was that?
I love how weird all find myself using it. I was like, I don't get it.
It's meat sprinkles.
It's
okay.
So, this goblin, you see, screaming as it runs past you.
I taught him well.
He seems to stop outside of a building, and it's a building you recognize. As he looks up and goes, "Oh!" and runs inside it.
Oh, hell.
Feel like I know you from another life, child.
Meanwhile, inside the store, Rebecca, could you please describe Utswa for us?
Okay, I'll see what I can do about that. 1 second. Sorry, talking to husband. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
That's
This
okay.
spot is a 4 foot tall. 4 foot tall, about 130. In the human years, they would be late 20s, early 30s, like looking that way. Her clothing, I would describe it as the painting of an autumn scene. It's very autumn colored.
Yeah, and autumnal, so
Yes.
browns, reds, deep greens, yellows.
Mm-hmm. She's wearing a kimono type style of garb, with some belts and typical obi. That's it. Well, oh, she has tan skin, more on the darker side, with blonde hair. It's
Okay.
fairly long. They a bow in her hair, but the bow is made of a material that is not typical for a bow. So
I like this description. It's a good description. Utswa, obviously, you've probably been raided again today. It's very standard. And swinging your door open very aggressively. You know what? For good measure, let's say there's a flash of light, and then the clap of thunder, as you see a shadow of a large, intimidating figure before a small 2-foot goblin steps forward with, like I said before, the worst attempt at hair dye you have ever seen, with splotches of pink hair contrasting so deeply against his green, grayish skin. As he steps in, he just goes, "Where is Goblin? It's not Goblin."
Utswa would have been behind the counter. She lifts herself up over the counter to see what the fuck came into her shop. Are you here to buy, or are you here to take my things again?
Meat Sprinkles, no. He not say when he going to take things. He learned that from teacher. But... Hello. Who you?
Hello. Did you want to buy something? I have plenty of things to buy.
No.
Oh.
Me have no money. Me was... What he then does, he presents his hands, which he's been keeping hidden in his cloak. As he presents his hands, you see that he is shackled.
They're just stumps.
No, he has hands, but there is obvious metal shackles going across them. Me maybe have itty bitty problem. Saw sign, thought you goblin, thought you help, but me should get back to running because
Wait, no. Are you a rebel in the city?
Oh God.
What is rebel?
Hang on. She runs around her counter, comes up to him, and
Why am I suddenly worried for Meat Sprinkles?
Oh, you should be. Goes over to Meat Sprinkles, looks at the shackles, and pauses. How do I get them off of you? Don't know. Shit.
I have an idea.
Hi!
There we go, perfect. I was just about to say, Shan, at any point you can choose to enter this scene.
I pull out one of my pistols and I
Do
tell him to
not do
hold.
that! No!
I got this.
Bad idea! We talked about that!
No,
No.
I got it. I fixed it. It works.
I'm sure about that.
Shoots him in the back of the head.
Problem solved.
He doesn't
In 5 minutes, you have accomplished what TJ never could.
I wasted 1 shot instead of 2. Look at that. That's efficiency,
Alright.
people.
If you can just hold up your arms there, I can shoot the chain and break the locks.
Where do you expect the bullet to go after that? It's gonna go in my floorboard skin.
Well, I mean, your floorboards aren't exactly the most pristine.
I know. That makes me very sad.
It builds character, it adds story, and I think that it would look so much better.
Well, what if there's a flood? You need more drain holes, right?
Can you at least do it out back where my stuff isn't going to be shot?
I sure can.
Okay.
Take him out back and shoot him.
The small goblin has just stood there, and he just looks around and goes, I am unsure if I consent to this.
I don't consent to it either, but we'll have to make it do.
What is... Me not even know what that thing hold is, but it makes me feel emasculated.
Rightfully, it should. Now let's go back, and I will get you out of your shackles.
Okay.
Don't
hurt me,
blow a
Mommy.
hole in my toilet, please. Again. Fuck's sake.
Is this where we go to a cutscene of all of Meat Sprinkle's life? Every moment since we met him in just a slow montage that inevitably ends in him in a back alley in a Tarantino-esque gun to the back of the head scene.
Started out with him in a small goblin place with a bunch of tiny goblins all being abused by their fellows.
Yeah.
He went out with
I
a
mean-
group one day to attack some dwarves, and then he was immediately abused by a human. He then decided to follow the human and continued the abuse at this time, although this time reading his teaching. And he left, was abused for a little bit longer, but this time by the general authority. And then finally he was shot in the back of the head.
See, I'm just trying to figure out what song do we think plays over Meat Sprinkle's life memory montage?
Slumdog
The Barney
Millionaire.
theme.
Okay, well.
So,
I was thinking "Don't Stop Believing," but
It ends with a gunshot. Yeah, perfect. Don't
and,
stop.
I knew you'd fit in, Shan. It's wonderful. Okay, so Greg, you lead this small, confusing goblin out
Mhm.
back. Meanwhile, Utswa,
Has to
what kind of
console
things are
herself
you
with
getting
the
on
inevitable.
with in your store at this exact moment in time?
Sorry, excuse me. She starts sweeping the floor, feeling annoyed at the floor being dirty.
Mm.
No one's gonna come to my shop today. That's fine. I'll just sweep and make it beautiful.
Approximately 30 seconds to a minute after all of his shenanigans, he's, your good friend and whatever that thing was came in. There's quite a loud knocking on your front door, followed quickly by a voice saying, "Mate, what are you knocking for? Just kick it open." Sorry, it's first day. And your door is booted open by two men wearing city garb. They have a obvious sigil of the Sorcerer King, which is that of a bleeding eye emblazoned across their chest. Chest, not chess. I don't even know what. Like they're carrying a chessboard now. All right.
King.
All King's guards are equipped with a chessboard as a breastplate.
Yeah. So across their chest plate bears the sigil of a bleeding eye, and then on their archer, what's the correct word for the stupid little cape thing that goes over shoulders on knights? You know this stuff normally.
Stupid little cape thing sounds good to me.
Yeah, half cape.
Yeah. Over the half cape on their shoulders is
Nipple guard.
no, because it's over their shoulder. Why do they have a nipple guard on their shoulder, TJ?
Because it's really for after the day is done. It's just thrown back during the daytime to keep it out of the way.
maybe they just have weirdly placed nipples. Don't body shame.
Yeah. See? Thanks, Shan, for having my back.
What have I done?
You're giving me backup.
So, anyhow, over their silly little cape thing, which is not a nipple guard, we are unaware of where their nipples are placed, and in order to prevent body shaming, they do not specify where they have them placed on their selves. There is another sigil. This is of a rather large-looking sword that is emblazoned, surrounded by fire. If you wanted to know exactly what that sigil meant, you'd probably need some kind of knowledge local or knowledge nobility. But I don't think you care, because you know what that means. They're more city guards, here to do what they always do. There's two of them, as I stated before, and one seems a little smaller, a little bit more unsure of everything that's going on, and the other, he's very proudly got a shaved head. His ear is missing a small chunk out of it. Rather gruff-looking face. He certainly does not look like the type of person who should be in a respectable position of power or authority.
Gotcha.
And he's kind of going, "Come on, Jim. You know, it's not. Look, I worked hard to get you this job, all right? All you got to do is you got to point that stupid little dwarf in the face, and you got to say, 'Give me your money, or I'll slit your throat.'" "I don't know, Tim. It seems a bit harsh." "Listen here." "Oh, okay, I'll do it."
Jim's right, you know. It's really harsh.
Look, half pint. Don't give a shit what you have to say. Just give us your money, and we won't set this place on fire, all right?
If you could not call me that, I would be grateful.
I believe it'd be at about this point. There'd be quite a loud gunshot. That sounds about right to me. And Jim kind of goes, Did the little one do that? Because I'm a bit scared now, Tim. Shut up, Jim! What was that? What you got something around the back?
Probably the regular hooligans who are always fucking with my shop. You never do anything about it?
No, because we are them. Alright. We're gonna go inspect around the back. Got a problem?
That's fine. I'm just gonna keep sweeping my floors that you keep stepping on with your boots.
Sorry, you complaining that we're making your shop dirty. You have a problem with that, little miss tiny person.
It's she's gripping the broom handle really, really hard right now.
Sorry if I'm making your shop a little bit more. You know what? Your shop is shit. I could actually take a piss on the floor in here, and no one would notice. You know what? Jim, you around that. I'm gonna take a piss on my floor. She can't do anything. Hey. And
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
well, Jim is gonna start heading around the back. As Tim, he's kind of like poking you a little bit, prodding you, and then he's gonna walk over to the corner and start adjusting his armor a little bit, specifically around his that area.
Utsua's eyes fade from her regular green to a little bit yellow. If you could not pee in my shop, that would be great.
Sorry, can't hear you.
Oh, he did.
And you hear the sound of liquid splattering upon your shop floor.
So that was really loud, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm trying to adjust my volume with this. Okay.
No, it's fine. It's awesome. Just keep going. It's awesome.
Cool. Get out of my shop. Get out of my shop. Get out of my shop.
He proceeds to do what he was doing. You then hear a couple of shakes of metal. Jangling. He goes, ugh. Calm down, sweetheart. I mean, come on, what are you gonna do? We're just got to inspect the sound and all that. Jim, hurry up! Meanwhile, round the back, Jim, Potter's on out. Hello, excuse me. Who are you two around here? What you doing?
I don't believe that's any of your business.
He kind of stutters and points to his city guard cape thing. Goes, but I mean, are they shackles? Is one of you a prisoner?
Nah, we were just doing a magic trick that went horribly wrong.
I'm inclined to not believe you, but I'm also intimidated by you. So I'm gonna go get my partner, because I don't know what to do. It's my first day.
Understandable. The supervisor position is one that should not be overlooked. Go get your friend.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Oh, Jim. Oh no.
Sounds like he
I'm
could
gonna
be a
feel.
decent guard and not having assholes disappear.
I'm gonna feel so bad doing this to Jim.
Jim comes back into the shop, where he sees his superior, Tim, who has left a delightful puddle over in the corner of the shop, and is, he's walked disturbingly close to Utswa. He's purposefully getting up in your space, and he's attempting to be intimidating. He's using the fact that he's big, he's got a big shiny metal sword. He's like, sorry, were you telling me to leave your establishment?
Yes.
Without
so
paying your
what?
taxes, little missy?
I already paid my taxes.
No you didn't, they went up right now. So, gonna need a bit more. You wouldn't want to end up, over in Tower, would you?
I don't have any more taxes. You took them this morning.
Yeah, they went up. Increases. Gotta keep city guards fed, repair roads, buy me more drinks.
Fine. I'll give you your taxes. They're in my back room. Let's go.
All right. Maybe we'll find a few other things you can show me in your back room. How's that sound? Hey? Hey?
Oh, it sounds swell. I'll follow you.
All right. He starts to walk towards your back room. This would be when Jim walks in and goes, sir. Like, Jim, do one. I'm about to get on with some important work here. Ugh, I hate this guy. I hate it.
Just kill him already. It's fine.
Just shoot him in the back of the head, please. I don't want to keep doing it.
I'm working on it. Just go.
He walks into the back room. What's in your back room?
That's where she lives.
All right, so he kind of looks around. He sees, you know what? He's gonna sit down on the bed. He's like, all right there. Hey. So go on then. Where are my taxes? And what else you got me? Ugh, I hate this guy. I feel just shoot him. Just kill him already, please, please.
Utswa saunters up to him. Got your taxes right here. Are you gonna do it? God damn it! Come on. She not working.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For 19 damage. All right. Explain how you are using this attack, which we have never seen anybody in this game use.
So, her eyes are still yellow. So, she had her hand behind her back, following him into the back room. In her hands, a globule substance was forming. It's a little bit sparkly, a little bit. And the moment she got close enough, she pulled it out right into his face and shot him in the face.
Yeah. Well, he no longer has a face or a head. As on Utswa's bed, there's no blood, thankfully, because there's just a smoking stump where this cretin's skull used to be. Do you think this thing makes noise when you do it? Like, what do you imagine it does?
I don't actually know.
I'm assuming when a head gets vaporized, it would make a little bit of noise.
At least something. There's a hiss or a pop or a...
Yeah. And at that point,
like...
Jim would kind of pop his head and go, sorry to disturb. Oh no.
Jim, dear,
Not
I need you to take out the trash, please.
And he runs out of the shop.
Come back later, fuckface. It's will proceed to go out to the back. Check on.
Yeah.
Is it gone? Did it leave? Hey, Greg, I killed a guy. Help.
Yeah, again?
Maybe.
This way,
Look,
you
we're
open up
running
the
out
dust.
of. We're
This
running
way, you
out
open a
of.
trash can at the back, and there's like 3 corpses.
Yeah.
There's just legs stuck out of the trash can, like they won't fit anymore. God damn it!
Sorry,
to break and bad
my
this shit.
sorry, my bad joke interrupted your roleplay. Please keep going.
We're running out of room to bury bodies in the backyard.
You don't have to bury them. Just put them somewhere.
So I think we gotta leave.
But my shop is here. I can't just leave my shop. My employee got nicked. I can't.
The small goblin kind of raises his hand. He
Yeah.
doesn't say anything, just lifts his hand while you two are talking.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, if he was leaving, me would have potential idea of place to go.
Do you?
Yes, we have a plan. A good plan
Oh,
that a scary
oh.
little pink thing gave us.
Me is not
It's
all
only
pink,
hair
it's
that's
kinda
pink.
green.
Me is green. Come on. Use eyes. Me is just like small you.
Yes, exactly like a smaller version.
Oots was like thinking now. Your hair would look nice pink.
I'm not dyeing my
Anyway.
hair pink, and we're leaving.
So, who has heard of? Well, you know, I me not know if the big deal, but me have good friends. There is Dark Horse. Dark Horse is good friend. Me is his apprentice, Dark Pony. There was also Dark Ram. Dark Ram was good. That name, the flower, Rose, Primple Rose. Yes, this one.
What?
But,
Wait a minute. Wait. Little guy. What's your name, by the way? I don't even know your name.
Meat Sprinkles.
Okay. Can I just call you Sprinkles?
But it's meat. Like, grrr, meaty. Yay.
Yes, he's got to justify it somehow.
Right?
Was name given
okay.
to me by new bestest friend ever who has never done anything bad to Dark Horse.
Oh. Fine, me Sprinkles. What was, are you sure it was, I don't, nobody's named Primple Rose.
Well, they like you, except old. He says, pointing at Greg.
Or not, freaking, no, damn it.
Well, they're dead.
I'm learning. Shut up. It's looks up at Greg, goes, oh, do you think?
I mean, plenty of people are named that, you know? I mean, half orcs are a dime a dozen, because orcs...
Not half orcs. Your name is Greg. Their name wasn't Greg. Her name isn't Greg.
I think the odds of it being the same person are very slim.
I mean,
Well, they're a very nice person. They put flowers in hair. They
see, that's the same person.
They play weird flute thing. Me never learn how to pronounce.
Oh, the one I gave them. Yeah.
They have very pretty girlfriend. And
oh, can't be the same one. Damn it.
and me and well, rest of my friends currently locked in tower being hurt. But we have other friends. Ooh, Meat Sprinkle's looking forward to seeing Prim again. bet they are very happy and alive.
That's a very odd thing to say about somebody.
That's a very odd thing to say about someone. Don't say that. I know they're old, but don't say that. That's rude.
No, it's normal goblin culture. To stay alive is best thing person can be.
Okay.
So it's normal to say, I hope you are alive.
Okay.
All right. So
Oh, also, there is a prince. Prince McFliffle.
We
just
don't
kind
I'm
of
not
loud,
going
goblin.
now. I'm gonna stay here in my shop. Thank you.
yeah, that's nice. I pick up Utsua.
No! Hey! Let me
I
down!
put her under my arm,
No!
and I lock up the shop.
No!
Start walking to the edge of town with the goblin leading the way.
Greg! Let me go! My shop isn't proper yet! Hey!
Greg? I mean, yeah, that's me. Shit.
I really hope that was in character. He goes, "Nope, that's me."
Yeah.
Meets
Yeah.
Greg patterns
What
from
a
Greg,
dick.
you really done it this time.
Look, it's what we gotta leave, because you've killed a lot of people, and they're gonna start coming around trying to find out.
But...
My boss is...
Let me get one thing, Kay? Let me get one thing, please.
Fine. You can go get one thing.
Okay. Ugh. She'll run back into her shop, to the back room. Start digging things out of her dresser. They're all going on top of Jim, or Tim. As a, hiding the body. At the very bottom of her dresser, she pulls out a small little book, and puts that inside her kimono, and then kicks Jim or Tim, kicks Tim really hard, kicks the dead guy real hard, and then leaves. Okay, I have the thing. I have the one thing I can keep that I can travel with, because they won't let me get my shop. Ugh.
Yes, you can't carry a shop, you genius.
I've done it before.
Look, we gotta go before people start sniffing around. So,
It smells terrible back here. They're not gonna sniff around here.
Meat Sprinkles has learned many things in life, especially bad smells usually attract people.
Stop using logic.
Okay, Meat Sprinkles. Lead the way, I guess. If you know where your friends are.
Well, we split party when
no.
they headed to Ice Castle to find Frozen Woman.
I think he's crazy, Greg.
And then we were supposed to meet back up, heading to Big Mountain to go find Dragon.
Oh, that's where Prim lives.
Yes. So we should head that way.
At the very
according
least...
to this, he says, pulling out a really badly drawn doodle of a map. We must go through trees.
That's supposed to be over there, by the way. That's not supposed to be there. That's over there. And that's over here.
Criticizing Meat Sprinkles' handiwork?
Yes. Yes, I am.
He squints his eyes at you and goes... as he rolls it back up. Tucks it. He goes...
If you can't take constructive criticism, you shouldn't be an artist.
See? See? Greg gets it.
Meat Sprinkles had to make this from scraps outside of back of tavern. Meat
Cool.
Sprinkles has been running away from city guard for... Meat Sprinkles not know, like 4 or 5 days? Time!
2 months.
Sprinkles did best. Best he could.
Well,
You
as
can
a
fix
first
it
draft, I think it's a decent job.
I guess, I suppose.
It's so hard. Say one nice thing.
Listen, I'm having a very bad day. At
Not
least...
as bad as Tim.
True.
Oh, Tim. He had the best day. Tim.
I've
At the
just
very least, if I can't keep my job, I get to my bestest friend in the whole world.
Yeah, me, right?
You're my other bestest friend in the whole world.
you have two friends. It is half.
You can have two best friends. Silly goblin.
Who was the first one? Tim or Jim?
It was Prim.
Oh
jeez.
no.
Sorry, I just noticed something. We got some bits donated by Shogun. That's 500 bits.
What?
Oh god damn it! You promised.
I just noticed anybody whose name rhymes in "im" is gonna die.
Oh no.
Jim lives.
Yeah, Jim's alive.
For now. We'll see
For
what
now.
happens when I
Oh,
come back.
what?
Hmm?
What?
Oh my
said he
god.
wasn't
Did
gonna give
not
it
go
to
to
you.
Bardic.
Yeah.
Oh lordy.
Oh.
You
Shogun.
have advantage you can use at any given point.
Oh, my first one. Oh. Oh. I will keep it tucked away for now. My kimono. Thank you.
Shogun, this is what
Okay.
happens whenever you like reward other people in the party instead of just
Yeah,
Bardic.
Matt
Now
has,
Bardic
We're
like-
all confused and worried.
is stuffing his walls with them because he
Yeah.
has no place to put them, while the rest of us are just out here with our cups.
They are in here. I have every
Anybody?
single one written down.
Matt has 82 advantages to use at some point, and none of us have ever even used one before.
You're really inflating the
I actually
dance
got one
economy right now.
before, and I
Yeah,
know
you're
I
the
gave
only one.
you one
Me?
like, way back when. to-
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
TJ, you used it to kill an ogre. You did like
Right.
cool backflips up its face.
that's right. We all know not to rely on my memory for anything.
Because much like me, you did too many drugs.
do too many drugs.
No.
We don't tell them that bit.
I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too.
All right. So, Utswa, Greg, and Meat Sprinkles, you have about a 3-day journey. Throughout this time, is there anything you would wish to converse, discuss, share about yourselves on this journey, or should we just jump cut forward in time? This is your time to roleplay as much as you want. You have 3 full days of walking.
As they're walking, the one thing Usu is going to do, at the very least, is go through the little book and mark off all of her lost inventory. Just very sad, just like, there goes my peaches, there goes my clockwork, there goes my diamonds. Oh!
Hey, I left a shop too. You don't see me crying about it. We had plenty of valuable shit in there.
But I own the shop. There
Well, I
goes
guess
my
I technically do now that Quaylin's gone.
there goes my jerky, and there
Oh my
goes
God. Wait, you have all this good traveling food and you left it?
I got one thing, okay? Oh.
Well, if you had mentioned jerky, I would have said grab some.
No, I couldn't grab my jerky. The dickwads took it this morning.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Here, let's do this. Let's do this. That'll be a positive thing. A good coping mechanism. Let's inventorize what we got. Eh?
That's not how my system works, Greg.
Meat Sprinkles have things. And
What
Meat
do you
Sprinkles
have?
pulls out a few bones. Found them round back
Wow.
of tavern.
Oh god.
Wow. Okay. What
I didn't kill that.
bones are those? What
I
kind of
didn't
bones?
kill that one. No, I did kill that one. I promise.
But they is Meat Sprinkles bones. You know has them.
No.
These
Okay.
Meat Sprinkles foods. Is only food Meat Sprinkles has had in like 5 days.
I mean, I got some jerky if you'd like some.
Is it fish people jerky? Meat Sprinkles had whole bag of fish people toes, but they took it.
No, I don't have people jerky.
The fish people.
Not specifically.
I only like fish people jerky.
Maybe Master Dark Horse have some still. That would be nice.
Master Dark Horse.
You wonder what
His
they are
name-
currently up to. And at this point, we would jump cut to them crossing through the Valley of Gales, because that's when this is about taking place.
Oh.
So
Basically,
that's-
at that point, you have someone just yell, "Oh, damn it! I think Matilda's head just came off."
Like zoomed out, just.
me also had friend. Well, me think friend. Me think he tried kill me once. Wonder what he's doing. Jump cut to Flick vomiting up. Frost giant tail.
Frost everywhere.
Typical Flick. It's fine.
So there we go. We have time context. Once again, you guys, you two, feel free to roleplay as much as you like. You have meat sprinkles to converse with. For things like if you wanted to hunt, you can just 100% do that. You don't need to bother rolling dice. This is role playing. You know, I want to go hunt a rabbit. Fine, you go hunt a rabbit. You get food. If you want to describe how you do it, please do. That'd be awesome. If not, have your in-character conversations as use and tell me when you would like to arrive.
Pretty sure Uthwa can't hunt. She'll blast things to smithereens and it'd be gone.
I mean, how do you feel about buckshot? Like, as a seasoning?
I don't really care. It's food. I'm.
Alright, well, since you don't want to inventorize, I am going to.
I'm inventorizing my shop. I'm busy. Go hunt you some food.
Fine, I will go get food. You start
Okay.
a fire and try not to set everything on fire.
I promise nothing.
Meat
guess I
sprinkle
would-
also makes no promises.
There's like, what am I traveling with? My gosh, oh my god, what's happening?
I guess I would go out and try to hunt some food with Peaches and Daisy. Do this.
Alrighty, yeah. Once again, whatever you think would be a cool description, this is your character scene. You can do what you would like with it. I'm assuming you've hunted before. Well, at least Greg has. I don't know if you... But... logically, in my mind, Greg knows how to hunt. Will do the thing, know how to do it. Do they do anything real fucking badass while they're hunting?
I was kind of hoping they'd come across like a bear.
Yeah, they do now.
And sort of like, I'm not saying they're gonna decapitate it, but that's how they kill it, was jumping on its back and slitting its throat until eventually they just cut straight through its neck.
I mean, yes, I could pull up some bear stats and we could do that, but the thing is, you guys are level 9. A bog standard bear is like CR1. Like, it should not be able to hurt you. You should be able to kill it in like one hit. I think the weakest bear is CR2, maybe. So, yeah. We could do the rolls if you wanted, and you can see how much cool damage, or you can just describe it however you want.
I'm just gonna describe it, I guess, to save time.
Yeah, do it.
Alright,
So, bear comes. Oh, I'm a bear. It doesn't speak because then it'd be sentient and it'd feel weird.
No, it wouldn't.
I
the least we see.
am the bear. I hold the mysteries of
Put
the
it
universe.
down.
What are you doing about knife?
No, it's just like first I take out Pepper, which is my pepper box rifle, and I shoot out its knees.
Oh God!
I'm not my knees.
Stop talking! You're making me uncomfortable. And then I take out the big Bowie knife and just start hacking away. It's just like, oh, I should have sharpened this before. I'm so sorry. This is
Oh no,
probably
my little
really
bear family. They will always wonder what happened to Pepper.
I mean, probably not.
No, they'll probably
No.
hear your screams from here.
No, I was not a good father. The hear the bear talking was Greg.
Makes you wonder.
So, yeah, you have a dead bear.
All right, awesome. And a guiltier conscience for it. So, I'm gonna just start dragging it back towards where we had made camp for the evening. And when I get there, I'm gonna stick my hand in the bear's head and start making it talk.
Oh my god.
You know, a little bit of travel entertainment.
You know the best part? You admit it, and I would understand because there's like nearly 50 episodes of this show. This is the exact same thing Kid has done, but with a dead goblin.
Yes, it's true.
Oh dear.
He now has tools to make it work better.
I think Kid's gonna have a new friend.
Oh, Lord.
You show up with your bare hand puppet.
It's just like,
Do you give the
"Arr."
bare head a name?
Yogi.
I was thinking more smoky, but like, yeah, we can go either way. I put one of my lit cigars in its mouth. And I'm like, look at me, I'm Smokey the Bear. I condone bad habits.
Just littering all over the place.
You don't need to put out that fire. I'm totally fine with arson.
Meat Sprinkles sits and watches you do this and like, Smokey the Bear is my new god!
And this was the day that the kingdom of Fife found its new savior, children. 300 years ago to the day our new kingdom was founded by Lord Meat Sprinkles. All hail.
Ugh. Sorry, I'm just really loving how perfect this choice in new player was. Mwah,
So,
chef kisses.
I guess before I start getting the bear and making as much travelable meat packets as I can, I'm gonna just punt the head into the woods and hope for the best.
You realize Meat Sprinkles is then gonna chase that head because he wants.
Like
Yeah,
she
sure.
said,
You play
hoping
fetch,
for the
it's fine.
best. Got the best.
Yeah. So as you punt the bear head, Meat Sprinkles sprints off trying to find it while you're getting on carving up meat. Utswa, do you do anything during this?
Utspa has taken 5 tries to get this fire going. It's finally started. It's just been a long time since she traveled like this.
Oh, dear.
Fire starting kit back in my store. God damn it.
Okay. So that's day one. You've got 2 more days. Once again, any amount of stuff you want to do or want to happen on these days, guys as players. That was fucking hilarious. If you want to do more of that, I'm down. If you're like,
I have
now
one
let's meet
thing.
the rest of the players. You have one thing. What is it?
One brief thing, like in the middle of the night,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's sleeping. Utspa's bolt stood up. Greg, do you think fucking Tim come back to life and fucking pee in my shop again as a zombie?
He's missing his head entirely, right?
They still got his penis though. I mean, that's just. I think.
Well, based on what you told me and based on the smell of your shop, I don't think he has much left in his bladder to empty.
Fucking asshole.
I mean, did you seriously just leave his body on your bed?
I may have. Good night.
By the way, Meat Sprinkles is now using Smokey the Bear's head as a teddy bear.
Oh
He
god.
loves that.
Aww.
Oh.
Awesome.
It's gonna rot soon. It's terrible.
And yeah, and then as he rolls over, you notice that he actually ate everything outside, and it's just a loose skin hanging barely attached to the skull.
Yeah.
I mean, what's better?
So,
than
what
that
teddy
it
bears
also
did you
doubles
have
as
as a kid? I mean,
Oh, God.
Oh gosh.
I don't see what's so funny, guys.
Um,
You
I'm
didn't
done
all
with my
have.
scenes now.
All right. So,
I have nothing
Um,
more in me right now. God.
if that's everything you want to do, once again, Shan, is there anything you want Greg to do on the last 2 days of his journey? Because if not, we can jump cut to you arriving and seeing what the hell happened to everybody else.
Well, I think we probably got enough meat from the bear to last a day or 2 or 5. So,
Oh, easy.
so I think we're good. Probably just along the way playing, like, kick the can with the head with Meat Sprinkles.
Oh, yeah. He loves it.
I spy
he has
with
a
my
hap-
little eye. Green.
At this point, Meat Sprinkles is basically a hybrid between an untoilet trained labradoodle, and a child. He is just the happiest, most excited thing in the world.
Oh no.
Alrighty. So, another day or two passes by, and you're deep into the forest at this point. As you are traveling, something weird starts to happen to the forest, and you see it go past you and around you. As you're walking, the forest physically changes, like a barrier passes through you, and as it does so, you feel that you are transported, not physically, like you are still in the same place, but as if the entire world around you is transported, and it changes from being a regular forest that you understand and can recognize to something powerful and magical and otherworldly. You know, the trees, they change color, they become hue, the grass is no longer green, the air has a purplish tint to it. And this lasts for about 10 minutes before it all closes back in on itself and returns to normal. And I heard a dice roll. Who was doing a dice roll?
Me.
Wasn't me.
Okay, Utsua with Knowledge of Planes, check 11. It's weird. That's what it is.
It's definitely that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very long time ago, Greg, but like I think Prim told me about some weird girls with eyes or something. I don't know. That was weird though.
Some girls with eyes? Because I'd hope so.
Squirrels. Squirrels.
I'd hope so too.
That was weird. Whatever. Let's go.
Meat Sprinkles has learned many things from traveling with his friends. We'll call them friends. And they always say, if something's strange, go towards it and hit it with a hammer real hard. And if you think it's magic, lick it.
I'm concerned about these friends, Greg.
Well, I mean, Jesus. I feel like our odds are just about as good with any group. Seeing as how I have things that can blow holes in people, and you've murdered at least 15 people within the week alone.
I love how those numbers getting higher and higher. You know, it was 1, and then it was 3.
Oh no, they've been traveling for a couple of days.
Yeah, but you think they've learned to stop sending guards at some point?
There's going to be some serious emotional whiplash in about 5 minutes.
No, I'm not prepared for it either. Oh, I'm so confused. God. Anyway.
So, do you take Meat Sprinkle's advice and do you try and head to the source of whatever that just was?
Given plot convenience, perhaps we should.
Plot convenience is a great reason to do anything, if we're honest.
I mean, I suppose that you don't see weird forests every day. Might as well.
I mean, in all my books, that always went to the plot convenient place. So I think we should do.
I think that's what we should do too.
I lift up the bear head. I think this is getting a bit too meta for Greg's liking.
Greg, you're losing it. Back to me. Come back.
Anytime you pick up that bear head and make it tall to his knees and starts bowing down before it, he is convinced that is his god.
Oh boy.
Which is hilarious because Meat Sprinkles has got like a 17. He was taken captive for, like a week and horrendously tortured and everything. So it's fair that he's maybe not quite as with it as he used to be. There's my justification.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Sounds legit to me, yeah.
Alrighty. So, as you progress forward, you eventually come across a clearing, a small crossroads, and everybody else. What scene do they come across? I mean, obviously, there's Eliza on her knees, just holding back a few tears at this moment.
To be clear, the scene that we ended on was the Feywild disappearing in Primrose's body with it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's all gone now, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we're in like the immediate few second aftermath of that moment.
100%.
Okay.
The last lines that were spoken were Kid lamenting over the fact that there wasn't even a body, and then asking Eliza, or just saying her name, honestly, but not receiving a response. And then he just decided to walk away.
Yeah. Flick just looks furious. And there are tears streaming down his face, and his face is all red. He looks at Keldor, and he looks like he's gonna say something, and he doesn't. And then he just turns around and runs.
Oh.
Okay.
I can't say grandson anymore. Oh my god. Oh, this is gonna be a transition.
Well, I'll jump around and get a few other people's immediate responses. Cody, you said Kid had just walked away. Varka,
Yeah.
how's Varka reacting to all of this?
Well, unsurprisingly, Vako's just gonna stay quiet.
Varka's the most stoic. No one knows what he thinks.
He just has some things that he has to work out.
And finally, Keldor, after having your entire torso run through and then healed up, how do you feel?
Keldor is... He would have just stood there and watched all this, and he still would have had his weapons out and everything. After everything disappears, he realizes that Primrose is actually gone. He's gonna collapse down to one knee. He's just like looking at the ground, not saying.
Okay.
It's 2 days for him, right?
Yeah. So, and quickfire NPCs. Relithor, who rolled a nat 1 on his will save, seeing terrifying guard. Relithor's like on his knees, just like cowering still, barely processing anything that just happened. Sanzalar also didn't make a will save, but he looks kind of stony faced, like he's obviously, he doesn't know these people as well, but he's like, damn, that's harsh. That's pretty much the depth he can emotionally conjure up. Angus, who did make the will save, he did. It was weird.
He made
he's
that 20.
That that 20. Yeah.
So he's just stood like he has no idea what to do or say. And Eliza is on her knees, her arms still there as if she was holding her spouse. There's an empty mason jar on the floor, which contained the ashes of Primrose's father. Thankfully, the ashes did make it into the Feywild just there. The jar didn't, but the ashes did, so it's safe. And also holding a journal of Prim's.
And the amulet.
And the amulet, of course. That's important. So, safe to say it's a somewhat somber scene. Flick, as you run off, probably not too long into your little run, maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Just out of curiosity, team... I don't even know what to call Ootswood, Greg, and Meat Sprinkles. Team Murderfest?
I think we called them the B team.
Alright, so B team. Who is the who would say be at the front of a marching order? Who's like taking point?
Probably meat sprinkles at this point.
Of course,
Yeah.
they want him to fall in any traps first.
Yeah. So Meat Sprinkles holding his bare skull head. Flick, I'm assuming you are not looking where you are running.
Not really, no.
You run slap bang into Meat Sprinkles.
Ah!
Yes.
And knives instantly in my hands. And
Meat sprinkles?
Flick! Hello!
What? How did,
Made
Wait.
friends!
how did you get here? We were coming to rescue you.
What?
It's a long story. Involves things.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
me. Other people, they're still... Where everybody?
I can't.
he just pushes Meat Sprinkles aside and runs through them and into the woods.
Flick!
And
Help!
as he gets through, like, out of, like, immediate sight, there's, like, a squawk, and Spudnik actually comes back through the bushes towards Meat Sprinkles,
Mm-hmm.
because he got thrown off.
Oh, Budnick. Okay, so we're gonna have to go deal with Angsty Flick on his own in a minute. With this, I believe Meat Sprinkles would be excited. He's just seen Flick. He's gonna try and push through, and he's gonna rummage through the overgrowth and whatnot, and kind of jump into the scene and see everyone goes, "Everybody, Meat Sprinkles is alive!" Who died? Hello?
You're okay. How-
Yes.
Spudnik kind of flaps up and curls around Meat Sprinkles' neck.
Finding a substitute Flick.
Yeah.
I like it. Meat Sprinkles made friends. They help Meat Sprinkles get out of big scary human place.
Kid is
This
walking
one-
towards Meat Sprinkles very quickly.
This one no prim. Yeah, he says, pointing at Utswa.
I have not been listening to a word he's been saying. Kid's going to reach down, and he's going to immediately pick up Meat Sprinkles. And for the first time ever, he's going to show some real, honest-to-God affection to anybody, and he's going to hug him as tightly as possible. Because he couldn't take losing anybody else today.
So Meat Sprinkles still holding his bare head. And he's being hugged. He has no idea what's going on. He's like, "This feels right."
I might squeeze him a little bit too hard.
It's too hard.
Oh, sorry.
Kind of like it, Daddy.
God, no! Get the fuck away from me! You made it weird.
Is what Meat Sprinkle do.
I trained him well.
So, let's see. New friends meet old friends. There is Dark Horse, was Flick. This is nice, squishy lady Eliza. She nice. That Prim's girlfriend. There is Prince crazy person I don't know. Crazy person I don't know. Big hyena friend, Keldor. And, Wizard Man. Oh, also, other Wizard Man. But he not have any friends, that Wizard Man. Tattoo Wizard Man is quiet.
Hi.
Why Prim?
Sorry.
Yeah, where is Prim? I thought you said that Primrose was here.
Some might say they are. I'm not good at this sort of thing.
Okay.
Y'all just missed them.
Oh, damn it! I was on the move. I went back home. I'll have to go by Draxspire soon and tell them hi.
Oh, I'm sure they're okay with it. Just... They're gone.
Yeah, back to Draxspire, like you just said.
No, I didn't say that. They're gone. Can someone... I'm sorry, I am still processing what just happened. I don't...
What just happened?
What did just happen?
Itsu looks up to Greg and just like, what are you talking
Well, I think your friend has moved on past this mortal coil, is what is being alluded to.
We don't even have a body.
Itsu just gets real quiet. Doesn't really know how to process this information. I mean, but they were traveling with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you see Keldor just suddenly stand up, and he takes his weapon and he's just smashing everything with it. He's going on a rampage. It's like screaming.
Hyena
I
screaming.
feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Oof. That's a mood.
We're not it's too quick. We haven't really worked through it yet. I don't think it's quite hit me just yet, but it will.
What?
Keldor just suddenly stops and just turns and says, "She's dead. Just died." And then he collapses on the ground, like fetal position.
There wasn't anything we could do.
Ooh. Oh, but they were traveling with you. So, what do you mean there's nothing you could do? What do you mean by that?
They volunteered.
Volunteered to what?
I don't know everything about it, but I think there's spring now.
But what are you talking about? It's winter.
And the wheel turns. I don't know anything about it. Relathor, what on earth
God.
just happened?
Gotta get to Relifor.
Relafol kind of shambles up onto his, trembling legs as he brings himself to stand. He looks and goes,
Oh, so
"You." He walks over to you, Woodsworth. He is also about your size, dwarf, balding, hideous, matted, ugly, dirty beard, and you swear you see a spider crawling around in it.
Oh,
As he
Itsu leans back.
approaches,
Leans away from him. Just like, ooh.
so you're a friend of the departed. What they did was they gave up their divine inner self, and in doing so, they gave power to the Oak King, and then the Oak King could take the crown and become the horned god to turn the wheel, bringing around a new life to this planet. Your friend is a god, but also not really. But they're dead, but not really. But they're gone. Forever.
Upon
But not
hearing
really.
this, upon hearing this Like, after everything just happened with Archer and Kid and Flick, Vaco just kind of slowly gets up and he says, Primrose, they left this world the way they lived it, on their own terms. They loved us a lot. And then Vago kind of looks over at everyone slowly. I don't think I'm sad that they left us. I think I'm kind of happy.
What do you mean you're happy? That makes no fucking sense. Aren't they your friend? They're traveling with you.
Primrose was more than a friend. But I think Primrose left the way Primrose wanted. And then Baco just kind of like slowly just kind of looks over at Kid and just kind of gives him a nod and just kind of like walks over to Keldor and kind of pats on him while he's on the ground. And tries to,
I'll walk over.
I don't know, walking or looking around for Flick, I guess.
Well, if Flick can take care of himself, let's get Keldor up and moving. This isn't a good look for him.
So selfish.
I'm sorry, we'll properly introduce ourselves later. We've got to deal with this first.
What?
Meet Sprinkles, if you do what you want right now, I want to hear about what's happened with you. I just can't right now.
Okay. Meat Sprinkles probably not. Is anybody checking on Squishy Lady? He says, gesturing to Eliza, who has not moved, not said anything at all.
That was Prim's girlfriend.
Wife.
Baco nods his head.
Wife? They got married? Oh. They got married. They got married.
Primrose was a very reserved person.
No, they really weren't, but okay.
You probably know more about them than we do.
They got
Up to
married.
Eliza, though. Please excuse her appearance. She's not as terrifying as she looks.
Oh, Prim's scary too. Utspa goes over to Eliza, like, carefully. Like, she's... Oh, I'm crying. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, if you ever need to like take a break for yourself, please, just say so. You know,
I'm in character. It's good.
Use the emotion, honey. Use it.
I'm using it. Oh. Hi. Hello.
Eliza does not appear to respond. She doesn't look up. She is still holding her arms out in the cradling position as if something was there. She is staring intently down at her arms and her eyes. It appears she has yet to actually shed more than a single tear at this, but you can see her eyes are completely welled up. She is trembling ever so slightly.
Boots will like lean over to try and see her face before getting down on the ground next to them. Hi.
Okay.
I knew. I want to say I know Prim, but I guess I have to say I know Prim now.
Very quietly to herself, not really even responding to Utswa. She just mutters, really.
should have been. It should have been me. Should have been the dwarf. It should have been that edgy little shitting elf. Could have been anybody. That's not fair. Why? Literally, it could have been anybody here, and it wasn't. That is not fair. It's not okay. It is not okay! And it has just been brought to my attention it's about time to go for a break.
Oh, Matt.
So, we're going to have a quick 5 minutes, everybody, and we'll be right back real soon. So, until then, enjoy your emotional whiplash, everybody.
Yeah.
Somebody bring out the Kleenex. Oh.
Alrighty, welcome back, everybody, and to the party. We are continuing our Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 edition game, and we have just introduced our two lovely new characters to probably the worst thing they could have walked in on.
Literally the worst moment the party has ever had.
Yeah, in the immediate aftermath of watching their longtime elderly companion sacrifice their life for the betterment of the entire kingdom or world or whatever you think this has an effect on. Yeah, it's kind of up to you on how big of a deal you think it is. One of our characters, being the lovely, lovely Flick, has decided the correct response to this is to run off on their own into a deep, dark forest. So, Flick, you have run off on your own into a deep, dark forest.
Yeah. I basically continue running and turning it anything to turn my mind off of what just happened. And I just start turning the forest into a parkour challenge and like running at trees and dodging at the last second out of the way and just not looking for any dangers other than what's immediately in front of me and just trying to get as close to every point as I can and just the ultimate focus. The closer I can get to these things, the closer I am to stabbing myself with this thing that I'm trying to avoid, the more I'm not focusing on the thing I'm literally running away from at top speed.
So you're literally running away from your emotions and response.
Yes, quite physically.
All right. And the idea is to just keep going at what point would Flick eventually stop or consider turning around, or is that not even mind?
He used to do this as an exercise, so maybe after like an hour, if nothing like stops him,
Okay.
if he doesn't like fuck up intensely and almost kill himself or run into something that tries to kill him, then
Well, either we can do some rolls for that, or you can make that active decision off of your own back. What do you think?
I'm fine with doing some rolls for that. I would love to leave it up to chance.
Alrighty, so we're thinking tumble checks.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
A lot of tumble checks.
Yeah, let's start with 5 tumble checks.
All right. 1. Oh, that's a 25.
25, yep.
That's a 21. That's a 27. That's a 37. And that's a 36.
All right. So these are pretty fantastic checks, if we're being honest. So obviously, Flick, you're pretty damn good at this. You know how to run through things and not hurt yourself. Climbing up trees, using that to propel yourself, jumping, doing acrobatics, anything to keep your body active and mind alert.
Spider-Manning with the troll gut rope.
Yeah, just doing all of that. All right. So if you're going to take about an hour doing all of that on your own, we can jump back to the main group, and then in an hour's time, like, is Flick intending to return back to everybody, or is he just...
He's not. He's literally driving all other thoughts from his mind by making this his sole focus. Like you said, he's climbing up trees, and then he's like climbing up trees and intending to use the troll gut rope until he leaps off the branch, and then he's like, screw it, and just dives into a tumble from 30 feet in the air just to not have the time swinging on the rope to think about what's going on behind him. This is a mad, adrenaline-fueled, like at the top of his body's endurance, as fast as he can go, crazy parkour rush around everything.
All right. When it does reach like that hour point where you, and at this point I would say Flick is thoroughly and utterly exhausted, just point blank. This is high octane stuff, and you probably couldn't physically keep going without taking a level of exhaustion. when Flick gets to that point where he physically cannot force himself to keep going because he's just going to hurt himself, what does he do?
He can't keep going without hurting himself. I
Yeah,
think
like,
he keeps pushing for a while until he starts actually hurting himself.
all right, yeah. You push. You are going to be taking a level of exhaustion. Like, you
Yeah,
are.
he's a level of exhaustion isn't really concerning him at this point. He's like going through until he starts like stabbing himself on the things he's trying to avoid and like missing drops and injuring himself.
All right. So, exhaustion in 3.5. I'm trying to remember. What is it? Give you like minus
Fatigued, exhausted.
fatigue then.
Mhm.
What does fatigue give? It's like a -2 or a -4.
-2 to basically everything.
All right, yeah. So roll me 5 tumble checks with -2.
All right.
Any sort of strenuous movement would throw a
I'm
bonus
just
to
gonna
exhaust.
roll them and we'll take the -2, so that's a 22. That's an 18. That's a 22. That's an 18. That's a 23.
God damn it, Flick,
Okay.
you're too good at this.
Yeah. I mean, you can your muscles physically hurt, your legs hurt, your hands hurt. Your hands are being worn down. Grabbing hold, you're getting, you've cut open your hands pretty severely, and you probably ripped up some of your clothes as you're going. But even though your body is physically telling you, "Please stop, you're hurting me," I'm assuming you don't.
It's basically like crying while he's doing this and fighting through the pain. It just keeps going for a while longer.
Okay. You've done 10 checks and you haven't. How close? Oh, you rolled a 3. That's the closest you've got. I can't believe that your 3 got you a fucking 21. Like you basically need a nat 1 to fail.
Basically.
So, you just want to sit and roll till you get a nat 1.
I mean, we assumed that he would probably get one eventually.
We could cut back to the rest of the team for a while if you want.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
Everybody else, what are you doing? How you feeling? What's going on?
I think after a short amount of time, gotten up. At first, he just is standing there, and then he immediately does what gets his weapons and starts drilling them.
All right.
Going back into routine, forcing himself to do really maneuvers and
Oh,
Got a common theme of emotional avoidance going on here.
Yeah, just work through the pain, everybody.
Walk it off. Walk it off, champ.
Kid, what are you doing in all of this?
Seeing as Keldor is at this point hopefully not a threat to anybody else around here, he is going to sit there and have a think, understand that whatever it is that's supposed to hit hasn't hit him yet, and no telling when it will, but we might as well just let it catch up when it catches up. So he is going to very quickly just kind of pull his armor where it fits a little bit more snugly on him, and he's going to walk up to meet Sprinkles and the 2 newcomers.
Mm-hmm. Utswa has specified that they are down trying to converse with Eliza, so is Kid wanting to go and mess with that, or
poke the bear?
I know very little than less than Eliza right now. So what I'm going to do is, in that case, I just want to go to wherever Meet Sprinkles is, because I would like to know what happened to him, and I'd also like to meet our new people whenever I'm able to.
Yeah. I think Meet Sprinkles would weirdly, like, despite knowing this, he'd probably be quite close to Greg because he has no context for anything that's going on. He's going to be very tightly holding his new teddy bear skull, the disembodied head of a bear, which is a totally normal thing for a person to attach themselves to.
Oh,
And he's probably going to be stood with Greg and then quietly whisper,
Miss Sprinkles promised me not normally like this. It is obviously bad time.
Yeah, no, I got a rather different impression from the antics you had previously described.
Hmm.
He's been telling you about us? I say, walking up.
Vaguely. Calling you friends and such, and that one of you is his boss, in a way.
I suppose that would be me in this case. I suppose I wish we could have met under better circumstances, but I will say it is good to meet you. My name is Jarl Dark Horse.
I'm
And you
just
are?
Greg.
Greg. Okay. So, tell me, how did the two of you meet each other?
Well, I was trying to get the heck out of Dodge in Dunkirk, and then, he literally ran past me through my legs to my friend's shop. And, he was in shackles, and I thought I'd help get him out of it.
So that's why I didn't see you. Meat Sprinkles, you were alone? What happened to the others?
Meat Sprinkles was with everyone else. He's just they not really know how to keep Goblin tied down, so Meat Sprinkles gets out. Notad also help a lot. He did wibbly wobbly magic keys, but then when they discover Notad had wibbly wobbly magic keys, they hit him real bad.
How did they get you in the first place?
Lots of numbers. As in, they had lots of them. Like,
More than when we fought the fish people.
lots more. And, you know, it was actually really, really cool scene. Unst was swinging, and he got angry, and his arms bulked up, and then they started going black, and eventually he collapsed on his own. That was probably a bad thing. Duratara ripped thing's head off, but then it was already dead, so it didn't really do anything, and it threw her around. Notad, well, Notad didn't do much, but he nearly did until somebody stabbed him a lot. Mateus, he was super cool and handsome until they broke his nose. It was actually quite tragic watching them go out like they did. And Meat Sprinkles did it bad.
What did you do?
He did a rogue.
When everybody else in group was falling over and Meat Sprinkles just hide, crawl under their bodies and pretend that he defeated. Meat Sprinkles didn't want. It was scary.
Okay.
But
Okay.
thankfully, because Meat Sprinkle's not too badly hurt, had enough strength to break out of shackles before they could get taken to tower fully. I mean, was kept in small courtyard, and they got long, like leather strip and hit people with them. Hit a lot. They got hot metal pokey thing. Stab Notad and eye. Notad only has one eye now. By the way.
Jesus.
What is there a one-eyed person quota that we're trying to fill in his party? As soon as one goes down, we get another one.
Oh,
Was
man.
there even 10 minutes between the two?
Okay.
You know, basically, lots of bad things happen to everybody. Unst. Last Meat Sprinkle saw Unst, he know he can use arms.
Okay.
and Duratara, they cut off foot. And not sure if Mateus can talk anymore.
We waited too long, guys. We shouldn't have gone for your bitch, Fife. Oh, we
Oh,
should have let her
Jesus.
freeze. She's not changing. Nothing's happening to her. Why
Okay.
did we make the side trip, guys?
Okay. So, if we were to go back to that place, would you be able to get us through it?
Me Sprinkles know where place is. However, is kind of scary to get actual into place. Small dwarfy person. She kill lots of guards, so they're probably on lookout for us. We would have to find a way to sneak into city, and Meat Sprinkles, well, not Greg is such a weird name. It doesn't sound right. Greg got us out of city, just carrying us, but not sure if we could get back in same way.
That's fine. We don't need to get back in the same way. So, you told us what happened while you were gone. Let me tell you what happened while we were gone. So, we did go to the ice castle. And, just long story short, we have an army now. We have a grand total of 4 frost giants and approximately 50 hobgoblins.
Ooh.
They're going to be meeting up with others who we've met along the way.
Let's kill those knights.
And we're going to be making our way to Dunkirk to hopefully take it back. But the fact that you guys came from there is very good information for us because it tells us what we're up against. So, I suppose at this point, Greg is your name?
Yes, sir.
Alright, you seem to be very skilled if you manage to get out of something like that. And Meat Sprinkles obviously approves of you, and his skills were on par with some of the greatest warriors I've ever seen.
Meat Sprinkles holds out the bear head, goes, Greg got me Smokey. Smokey is my god.
Yeah, well, I suppose anybody can have a god now. I guess it's a concept that I never gave enough credit to. So, more
Religious
power to
freedom in the Jarl's kingdom.
you. More power to you. So tell me about yourself, Greg.
Not much to tell. I work in a gnome's tinkering shop, making weird mechanisms mostly. And
Okay.
these. And I pull out the guns.
What are those? They look like crossbows with no bows attached to them.
These
Greg
things.
used one to break shackles. They make loud sound.
They do more than make a loud sound. These things can pierce armor, cause explosions, and if you're lucky, they can kill somebody.
Okay. Kid's going to walk away, and he's going to hold his arms out like, okay, go.
Jesus
We have to
Christ.
test this.
Kill me.
What?
Just kill me.
Just
Go ahead.
shoot me in the fucking
I
skull.
told you, we're all about emotional avoidance. He'd rather die than deal with this.
Okay, just hold on one moment. Let's see here. Would you rather explode or be on fire?
Oh no, we found someone who's gonna just make Kid
Uh-oh.
worse.
You're gonna fit in perfectly.
This is great.
I just want to test and see exactly
How many
what
hit
it is
points
you're
do you
carrying.
have left?
I'll be fine.
Famous
All
last
right.
words. All right, we're in for 2 character deaths in 2 episodes. Good.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I'll give you a choice. Peaches or Daisy?
Well, Meat Sprinkles, you weren't here for this, but we've got a name now. We're the Daisy Chain, so give us Daisy.
All right, and I'm gonna just take a single shot with Daisy.
Mm-hmm. If you want to make use like, the little thingamadoodle, should all work.
Wait, hold on a second. Which one of
So
these do I
basically,
click to make it
I'll allow
roll?
you to make a touch attack.
Oh yeah, because there's like a bunch
There's
of
like
different
3.
stuff. Hang on.
There's damage, there's full attack, and then there's attack.
Okay,
You should be
so-
okay with just the attack one, I think.
So on your weapons page, you click on the
Yeah.
dice button farthest to the left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a flanking? No.
Yeah, no.
So,
If it's no, you put 0.
Yeah.
gotcha.
That doesn't take in your point blank shot. So when it says miss for attack and damage, just put a 1 in.
Alright. Point blank shot. Oh, come on. Additional damage. 1.
Mm.
Okay.
29 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Wow.
And Shannon, this is your first experience making an attack roll in 3.5. How does that compare to 5e? You just rolled 29.
That feels pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay. Just for flavor, where do you shoot him?
I think I'm gonna just shoot for the shoulder.
Okay.
Just to make sure, Kid currently only has 2 arms, right?
At the moment, I only have 2 arms.
It is a question that we actually need to ask, believe it or not.
Okay. So, let's see. So as the bullet is fired, Kid doesn't really process much except for the bit of a flash and the smoke, and his eyes close for a second, and he feels the bullet just go right into his arm, or in his shoulder. And the one thing that he feels above everything else is the fact that whatever it was has just lodged itself in his shoulder. And the impact of it feels worse than any time he's ever been hit by an arrow.
Oh yeah.
Just a wee bit.
Just out of curiosity as well,
This starts
just
getting
using the standard
fascinating.
ammo, or are you using one of your ammo, not arrow?
Yeah, I'm using just standard ammo because
Alright.
I need to save the other ones.
Yeah, that's
Good
absolutely
call.
fine. Just pow.
Prioritization.
Kid
You've
grits
just
his
been
teeth really-
shot.
Yep, Kid grits his teeth really hard from getting that bullet into him, and it's not really enough. At that point, he just kind of lets out an ah. Which is
Keldor
honestly more
looks
than he
over
normally
in
gets.
shock, not from the sound of explosions, but the fact that Kid made a sound of pain.
Kid looks at the hole in his arm, and he's like, weirdly, it's not as bad as an arrow looking at it, but damn!
Meat
Okay,
Sprinkles
okay,
looks up
okay.
at you and says,
If you really want to hurt, put a finger in and twist it.
Oh, God.
Kid immediately does so.
Oh,
Oh god, okay, I'll take your. Oh, Jesus.
let's just get the
Who the
cleric
fuck
to
that
heal
is?
you. Oh, Eliza. Oh.
No,
yeah, if you're
I'll
actually gonna
accept
do
this.
that, take an extra damage, Kid.
How much extra damage?
Just 1.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry, I can close up that wound
Twist the
for
finger
you.
damage.
Is it still in me?
Technically, yes. Well, hold on, let me check. Yeah, I don't see an exit wound, so might have to cut you open to get it out.
That's not a problem. Just do it.
All right.
Just
I'm
go
gonna
in.
take out my knife
Go.
and just sort of pry it out.
Does
Oh.
this check matter? Is this just
Okay. For this,
This might be a
Greg.
like core the apple check.
Justifiably, what do you think you should use for this? Survival or heal check?
Survival probably.
Please roll me a survival check.
13. See, survival. Oh, good. That's one of the things I put a lot in.
20.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You're good at this, you know. Whilst Kid is there, poking his shoulder, going, ow, ow, ow. You just kind of knock it, slip the tip of a knife in, and flick out the bullet. Like, you do not cut or hurt Kid in any way as you do. You've probably given it a really cool extra little bit of a scar, though.
That's everything I wanted.
Yeah, that's all. That's what he's all about.
And
Really.
will it have been enough time that my barrel of my gun is still hot?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because this is all in a
Yeah.
matter of seconds.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Right.
just press the barrel to the wound to cauterize it so it stops bleeding.
It does fire too. Oh. Okay.
Yep.
I think we
made it
found
myself.
out what Kid's into.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Like
He's
the
asexual,
right
but my
question.
God, does that get him going?
Whatever the hell. Whatever the hell that is the coolest thing in the entire world.
Keldor's like, just like walks over and is like, what?
We can't trust Kid anymore because he's gonna have an orgasm in combat every time he gets hurt.
No.
This isn't like
Only if he
yeah,
gets
this is
shot
like-
by a gun.
I'm waiting for Kid to start like jumping in the way of Greg's attacks. Go, come on!
God damn it.
So how many of those do you have?
Well, let me check. I pull out my my little. I have like a tiny little sketchbook. I actually do of inventory. Trying to take a page from Utsua. Let's see. Now I have.
Shanna's been here one session and is the most prepared person here.
Hey, I
Hey.
have.
I
a
have
note
everything
page.
written down. You have no idea the hours I spent on this. I have 199 revolver bullets, about 50 rifle, some explosive, some incendiary armor piercing, and, well, some materials to make more if I need to.
Those are the most beautiful things I've ever heard anybody say. And I don't know what half those words mean. So, have you ever considered working for nobility? Because I am a Jarl.
Well, quite frankly, I think nobility can stick it, but you seem like a nice guy.
You haven't known me long enough yet, but okay.
At least he's honest about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. This changes everything.
Your god has no place here.
Who needs gods when this is
Who needs gods when you have guns?
Okay. Angus, your hammer's got nothing on whatever the hell that. Seriously. If we can do something with, like, forget the chain, forget magic. Where was this when we were in Furness? Because I knew this was a thing. I wouldn't have even bothered with the spell book.
Not to toot my own horn, but I do think I might have invented it.
Oh. Well, then, in that case, good for you. Could you invent more?
Did you invent me some? Hmm?
Well,
Honestly,
I mean,
I think the Frost
Good
Giants would
thing.
probably love this sort of thing. So if
Oh
you could
my
make it
goodness, that'd be terrifying.
Oh,
Sorry.
God.
I'm just loving the concept of 9 levels of slow and steady character progression for Kid. You know, I'm gonna learn. You know, I'm a mercenary. Ooh, magic. Magic could be cool. Guns.
this is what it was all leading up to.
Yeah.
well, I mean, given the right material, enough explosive powder, and could probably jerry rig something big enough for a giant.
Holy
A
crap.
howitzer?
Just giants carrying around full-size cannons as sidearms.
I've had some concepts for this thing I like to call a tank, and I think we could make it work.
I'll discuss this with you at any point I am able to. Okay. I'm going to let someone else take the reins, as I'm just going to sit here and think about all of
Sorry,
everything that has changed.
I
my
need to
life.
actually write this stuff down because it's gold. Frost giants in tanks.
We're done.
Suck it, Sorcerer King. There we go.
Just like the Sorcerer King goes out with all magic, giant just sitting there with a cannon.
It's like that Futurama quote: "Who needs magic when you have a gun?"
Can we make our
There was
tanks
this-
magic proof?
There was this old D&D movie where the two sorcerers are fighting at the end, and the evil sorcerer's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and then the guy just pulls out a gun and shoots him.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
All
Pretty sure
right.
that was Indiana Jones, actually.
Yeah.
thanks,
Oh,
Wiley.
dear.
Wiley
Alright.
says hi, Shannon.
Oh dear.
So Kid
Yay.
makes fast friends with someone for the first time ever. All they have to do is hurt him, as everybody else does.
Meanwhile, Valko is the only person with a reasonable emotional response.
Mhm.
Kid, I said I was sorry, god damn it.
Ooh.
Does anyone care what the NPCs are up to aside from Eliza?
Nah.
Nah.
They're all just kind of sitting back and they'll wait for you to interact with them. But
Yeah. I assume they're crying.
They're in as much shock as we are.
They can just be crying.
Different reasons.
Oh.
They didn't know us very long, but
I'm just worried about Ginthry at this point, and Liza, but Ginthry is
we
really
haven't
cool.
talked to Gantry yet. But
Gantry.
that's normal.
it's
I
really
know.
bad. I half the time I forget Genfrey's even here.
Oh,
Which is so
no.
bad because that's like his whole character. Nobody
That's-
remembers him.
His whole character. Of course you forget about him.
I made him!
You think that makes a difference?
No.
If he
Alright,
existed, I would chud you more.
Alrighty. So, Valko, do you have anything to do, or are you just gonna keep having a reasonable emotional reaction to this?
How dare you make us all look like teenagers?
Kid is a teenager.
Shut up.
Technically, they all are.
Yup.
Yeah, by halfling standards, so am I.
Yeah. Wait. Is Keldor now the oldest of this current... Well, I'm assuming
God.
Greg and Utsua are older, but
How old is Keldor?
19.
How old is Flick? No, Flick is 22, I think.
Jesus Christ, you're all children.
Yeah, we're all children.
Yes! Why do you think this...
Yeah. Flick
Greg is like
22.
35, so she's like middle-aged.
Everything is slowly slotting into place.
Oh, I get it.
What
now.
did I agree to?
More things stay the same.
It's like, you have Keldor, the knight, who happens to be a giant hyena man who's only 19.
Keldor, Kid, the battle-scarred 16-year-old who is now nobility by his own hand.
How old is Vako again?
Oh,
Oh, I
I'm not
see.
sure if...
Thanks. I appreciate it. Don't blink. That's very forthcoming of you. No, please. That's too much information. Settle down. We don't need to know that much about you. It's just keep that to yourself, please. There's some boundaries we don't need to cross as friends. Honestly, there's a few things.
I'm gonna feel
that
really
should
bad
remain
if there's actually an issue going on.
a little bit.
Well,
Or if he's
No,
muted
Blake.
himself because he's too busy laughing at all this nonsense.
That's
if
probably
you're
what-
actually there, you're
You stepped
muted.
away for a second.
But okay. Oh,
Yeah, he's just not there. Yeah, it worked perfectly.
Alright.
You won't even know. He'll come back and he'll be like, "What?"
Well, I got ignored again.
Alrighty, so
Jesus.
we will jump to Utswa,
Oh gosh.
who is, well, you are talking to the widow, who does not seem particularly stable.
Yeah.
We're interested in talking.
No.
This is a terrible idea.
And yet here you are.
No. After that outburst from Eliza, Utswa will kind of just sit there and they're still trying to process all of this as well, or she's still trying to process all of this as well. She'll look down at Eliza's hands and see the book. What's that, if you don't mind me asking?
Eliza finally seems to actually respond to anything anybody's saying. She turns and looks at you. Her eyes terrifyingly bloodshot, almost as if she is suppressing a lot of emotion currently, and it is physically welling up inside her to a point where, you know, she is not allowing herself to blink. If she blinks, she's going to start crying. So her eyes have welled up to a point of overflowing, but she refuses to let the tears fall. And she just looks at you and goes, "Sorry? Why should I care who you are?"
I'm one of Prim's friends. Just got here.
Great. Okay.
I'm gonna go. Okay.
Okay. Eliza slowly brings herself to try and stand. She quickly wipes her eyes. She's holding this book very close to her chest, and she kind of looks around it and goes, "Does anybody have something small and sharp or?"
One of Flick's daggers just comes flying out of the woods. It's a hell of a question.
Does anybody answer? Or does it just follow awkward silence as she's standing there, holding this book and going, "Sorry, I believe I asked you all a fucking question. Does anybody have a dagger?"
I do, but what exactly do you intend on doing with it?
Things, maybe? Just a few wee things.
If you intend on hurting yourself, I ain't handing you no dagger.
God, no, why would I hurt myself? That'd be a terrible way to respond to something, wouldn't it?
Then you better tell me what your intentions are with my dagger.
Well, I'm trying to channel and get through some of these emotions, because I'm kind of incredibly furious right now, so I kind of just want to stab something, a lot.
Don't stab the book, please. It's important.
Oh, no, I wouldn't stab that. I just something, like a tree, or a fucking stupid ugly dwarf. Not you, dear. The creepy one. I want to stab him a lot, if I'm quite honest.
He is creepy. Really creepy.
You know what? I can do you one better. And I hold out a handle of peaches. And I go over to her and I put it in her hand and I tell her, I'm like, anything you aim at. And I put in one of my special bullets.
Ooh.
Okay.
Just one bullet in the chamber of the revolver,
Oh
locked and loaded.
God.
One special bullet.
I need to check what her dex mod is because it's not very good.
Kid
Not very
seeing
dex.
this come out is just going to not make a show of it, but he's just going to kind of casually unfold the spike chain a little bit.
I'm gonna come back to a mess of dead party members.
Okay,
So-
so okay, so she has a oh wow, Eliza's a lot more dexterous than I thought. 16, so that's a +3. Base attack is 5, so she'll have a +8. Although they're magic guns, so that gives me a +1, so it's a +9. So she's just gonna, you know what? Because I like to make it constantly reappear because it's amusing. There's a familiar looking tree stump, which looks as if it has been smashed by a hammer. And what's the last thing that you did to it?
Misgendered it.
There was magic missiles,
Hmm.
the hammer smashing it, Didn't I test out the new sword I got on it?
Yes, you did, and you basically cleaved it in two. And it just seems to be there. So Eliza walks over to it, gets real close, puts the barrel, like, just a couple of inches away. That is a 9. So with her current +9, because of her 5 BAB, 3 dex, and a +1 weapon, that's an 18 to hit. You hit the AC 2 stump. And, Shen, can you explain what this bullet does when it gets unleashed?
First, when it's unleashed, she's got about 5 seconds. So in those 5 seconds, I grab her and start running back.
Oh,
Because that thing's gonna be nothing but splinters in like 5 seconds, you guys.
Keldor doesn't
It
know this, and he's like
explodes.
walking forward as you're like pulling her back, and he's like, "What?"
What was happening?
Yeah, no, I pick her up and I just get her a decent clip away, and that thing explodes into shards of wood.
And I don't know how I can justify this tree stump coming back next time now.
it's like taped together.
Yeah,
Exploded shards of a stump.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of shards all in a tree stump
So this
formation.
weird wood pile, this wood chip pile is just there.
Utsu is not phased at all by this, by the way. He's just like,
Yeah. And Eliza kind of looks and goes, thank you. Sorry, I didn't quite get your name. I'm Eliza. That was... She's holding the gun and goes, I like this.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus of your group thus far. I'm Greg. And I know this might not be a good time for you, but I know what you're going through. I lost someone I was married to as well.
Oh. You know, I hope this doesn't come across as any kind of offense or anything, because you're actually, it might just be the size, or you remind me a little bit of them. So I don't know. It's somewhat comforting, if I'm honest, in a weird kind of way. But thank you. And so I'm glad that you understand what I'm. I don't even know what I'm doing, if I'm completely honest. It's it's kind of like a whole thing.
Well, I know that for a long time afterwards, after I lost this someone, felt like I didn't want to go on, continue, but you always find something worth fighting for and going on for. even if that something is just knowing that they'd want you to.
Oh no, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm going to see. Ideally, I'd kill King McFife, but he's already dead. And quite frankly, I know the prince, it's not really his fault. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to murder the Sorcerer King. Because it's his fault that all of this nonsense is happening. So I'm going to... Do you mind if I borrow this?
Tell you what, I kinda need both of them, but as soon as I get the right materials, I can make you one that can do way better than just this.
Oh, damn.
Actually, you know what? No. Whilst this would be very fulfilling, I've got a better idea. You know what I really, really want to do? And with that, she kind of dusts her hands off, cracks her knuckles. Where is the description? Where is my spell list?
Oh dear.
Just because I don't remember the name of the spell, because I'm a big old Dumbo.
Cast Ultima.
No, she's casting Buffalizer. I just don't remember the name of the spell. Oh, that's it. Divine Power.
And you turn into a buffalo.
Yeah, so what Divine Power does is you gain a +6 bonus to strength.
Whoa,
Jesus.
that's crazy.
Your base attack bonus becomes equal to your character level, which, yeah, and you gain +6 strength. So she casts that on herself, and then she casts full strength, so she gives a +10 in total to her strength. She is the henchiest motherfucker you have ever seen. You know, just gunk, gunk, gunk.
Jesus.
And she walks on over to not the same tree stump, a different tree, an unrelated tree.
Looks kind of like it might have a thing.
Yeah, it has a face. Like there appears to be like a small face from a rain. You swear you see its face like from a happy like I'm a tree to oh no. As she bear hugs the tree and breaks it.
Keldor's just like slowly backing away from Eliza.
Utspo's hiding behind Greg now. Prince Fife is really scary.
I mean, it's not really an effective thing to do in battle because you don't have to use a few spells, but that felt really, really good.
All right.
You
Okay.
know, often I find also tea and a good book typically help me calm down and deal with situations of high emotional stress. So, I mean, I could get a kettle going, and
I just look at Gen 3 and like, Gen 3, food. I'll
Oh,
help you.
yeah. Okay, we'll get on with food. So I
Keldor,
hope my cousin Jim doesn't ever run into anything weird that happens. I just realised we've got the same voice. It's almost if God didn't have enough imaginative voices to give characters.
Hey, I've got the 3. It's all good. That'll cover everybody, right?
I'm going to walk up to Keldor, and as they are setting that up, I'm going to tell him and say, "Hey, bring Snowy. We need to come back with a big enough rock." I think we're gonna be okay, but I don't want to leave without something proper here.
Keldor just looks at you and nods. And he says, and we might as well pick up the wagon.
Probably a good idea. Guys, we're heading off. If there is any issue whatsoever, I'm going to leave Sugar here, and he'll probably do what he does whenever we're in trouble. I don't know. Up to you, Sugar. You can decide whether or not it's worth letting them know.
Has Eliza like debuffed herself?
No.
Well, these last a while.
Oh gosh.
Well, yeah, they last one round per level. So it lasts nearly a minute of her being super buff. But eventually she'll calm down and return to her normal Rubenesque figure.
Once she has calmed down, Boots will slowly approach.
Whilst doing this, the tightly maintained bun which she has, which is, she obviously brushes her hair like 100 strokes every day and then ties it into this perfect bun. That has been ripped wide open. So her hair is long and flowing down her back.
Ooh, baby.
Hi, it's a vegan.
Oh, hi. Sorry. I'm obviously still.
Yeah,
Are
me
you?
too.
I think Primrose mentioned you once. An Utswa or something.
Yeah, that's my name.
Ah, nice to meet you. Sorry that Prim's dead. Probably not a great way to meet, if I'm honest.
I mean, I've met certain people under better circumstances.
So, hi. Ah. It's really weird. I've obviously handled a lot of funerals. It's kind of my job. Marriages, funerals, bringing children into the light of a triad. But I never really had to connect to one, honest. So I'm now starting to understand all of those people who used to be really, really drunk. Because that sounds good right now.
Oh, I love a good drink. Next
Flick
tavern we
glass
go
comes
to, I'll
from
buy you one.
And I just like, as I'm walking off, I point at the barrels. Go ham.
Great. I think I will do. Before I do that, what is Flick?
Oh, he strode in a bit ago.
He ran past us, when we came here.
Jump cut to Flick.
That is perfect timing. Jump cut to Flick. Flick, you'll probably definitely reach your point of utter exhaustion. Like if you try and do anything, you're just gonna really hurt yourself. You have splinters in your hands. You've torn up your cloak. You're super dope as hell. Saber-tooth tiger cloak. That's got holes in it now, rips, everything.
Yeah. At a certain point, as I get utterly exhausted, I come to a rest, and I go into basically as I am exhausted and collapse there for a moment, and as I finally catch my breath, I move into a stealth mode and I start stalking through the woods, and I'm attempting to not really track because I don't really know how to track, but I'm more attempting to come upon something unsuspected in the woods, and preferably the bigger and more dangerous the better.
Oh dear. You want to find something?
He's looking for a fight tonight.
Okay. Let me get some monster stats. Monsters.
Can always fight Utwa. Be terrifying.
Come on, monster stats. Just load up. Faster.
Come on, internet. Be better.
Think SRD might be down.
You're gonna fight Utwa then.
There we go. SRD. Bubba-dubba-dubba-dubba-dum. What animal is hanging out in this woods? You know
SRD
what?
has an excellent stir random.
Doodly dee, doodly doo. How are you? No, you're not scary enough. What about you?
I mean, in his head, he's looking for something like a cougar that in his.
All right. So, as you start looking around, eventually you would come across a brown bear. It looks somewhat confused if it has recently lost a family member. It
We're
is
gonna
paying
murder a whole
zero
bear
attention.
family in a night.
It looks slightly older than the head that that
Okay.
Meat Sprinkles was carrying. So it's not its children. But
Oh,
yeah.
well, that's good at least. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it to a straight high or low roll. My own dice. I like to take these rolls into my own hands when I can. High. Flick goes for it to let out his rage. Low, he passes on. Oh, that's a 15. That's high. So he goes for it, right? That's what I said, isn't it?
You said something.
I did say something. Pretty sure that's what I said. So, I don't know if you want me to roll, move silently or anything, but he's going to stalk up upon this bear.
Yeah, move silently is probably appropriate. Stalk the bear. Get close.
All right, so that's a 34. Moving through the woods. And
The bear
I guess,
physically cannot roll that high.
well, there you go. And I guess a hide would be appropriate as well. And
Yeah.
that's another 34. Weird. Okay. So, synchronicity.
Yep. All right. The bear is paying zero attention to you. In fact, it is rubbing its back against a tree. Going, I'm a bear. My own business. Sure hope nothing tries to hurt me like it did my cousin.
All right. And this is a male bear, it looks like.
Do you want to check?
What do you think he's targeting, Matt?
Sure. Yeah, it's male.
I assume it's fairly easy to tell if it's rubbing its back. So, all right. I'm gonna coming upon this bear in the woods. Flick is still just overcome with rage that he's trying to outrun, and at the utter end of his exhaustion, when he's basically crawling through the woods, trying to go as quietly as he can and not collapse, he comes upon this bear, and he just envisions all his, like, basically focuses all his anger and grief upon this bear, and he slowly draws one of his daggers and he studies the bear for a moment, 2 moments, 3 moments. And then as he rears back up, he's about to throw the dagger, and he catches it at the last second and doesn't release the very tip of it, and it almost falls out of his hand. He stops. He's just shaking, holding this dagger. He takes it and he just starts stabbing it into the ground, and not even caring if the bear hears him, just starts stabbing it into the ground and, like, letting all his anger out into the earth. And he's just crying and letting out little grunts, and stabbing.
Your
Dagger. Yeah.
all of this seems to get the attention of the bear. Bear kind of stops what it's doing, kind of looks its head round and starts to sniff. And it walks close over to where you are. and puts its nose right into the shrub and starts sniffing around. Unfortunately, it rolled a nat 1, so it cannot see or hear you. It thought it heard something, went over, can't smell anything, goes, guess it's nothing. But its nose is right up against you.
And the scene on the other side of the shrub, you see the bear like stick its nose through and it can't find anything. And the scene on the other side of the shrub is just Flick with the same dagger held an inch under its throat, poised to strike at it. And then as it finally gives up, turns around and trundles on, he just collapses down into a fetal position and starts sobbing.
Someone please go find Flick.
Please go find Flick.
I think I'm gonna try and track where he went and go find this guy, because no one should be sad alone.
Okay. I'm just gonna try and check in again with Varko, being a normal human being and reacting to this in a reasonable manner.
Yeah.
Is there anything Varko would like to do or get on with, or is he like, no, I think I've got this? It's sad. I'm gonna miss them, but it's how they wanted it to go. I'm gonna go make food.
Oh, Chef Vaca, what do we have?
Lobster.
Is he around? I just saw him a second ago.
I saw him respond to something in the chat, but I can't hear him.
I'm glad you didn't acknowledge what I put, Matt.
I just read it. Oh, it's terrible.
I need to stop looking up in this chat because it's a bad chat.
What are you talking about? Great chat.
Shh.
Since I can't contain myself with TJ going, I wrote down in our Discord chat, the bear knows the sound of two rabbits mating. For it's not one.
So Greg, being the only other person with a somewhat reasonable response to everything, aside from, well, actually no, the NPCs, they respond. They don't need to respond at this moment in time because this is more important about you guys than them. So you are responding like a normal, sensible, balanced human, well, half orc. You go, I should go find that little person who ran away. Do you want to roll me a survival check?
Sure do. Once I scroll down through all this crap and find it.
There's
Can
a
we
lot of crap.
Can we say this one went with Gred? Because I don't think. No. Can you say that?
Yeah, if you want to go with, if you're like, all right, I can't be around what's going on here. I need a break.
She needs a break from Eliza, yes. But also, Greg is her rock right now.
All right, survival check of 20. There's a somewhat obvious path. You can see broken branches. You can see scraps of cloth and clothing, and you can see a small blood trail from Flick rushing through the forest, and it seems to go quite deep.
I think you went this way. I think you went this way.
Well, using logic and slight detective skills, I think you're right.
So, if you follow this path through, if you're walking just a normal path, it's actually not that far, despite the fact that Flick has been gone for a while. It's all the climbing and stuff which slowed him down. So he's only maybe like a 20-minute walk away maximum. He's got little legs as well, so can't get as far. Eventually, you'll come across a point where the trail stops. You would have probably just heard Flick stabbing the ground and going, and a bear being very close and sniffing before it slowly begins to back off and turn away and leave.
I think there's rabbits nearby.
Damn it.
I don't know, that sounds more like a small man's existential dread.
Yeah, that's what rabbit sounds like.
I'm dead.
I believe
We got Archer to quit the game. Yeah.
I think
Uh,
I think I think I remember them calling him Flick. So I call out his name. Flick? Sir? Uh are you there?
Person who's smaller than me. Where are you?
as you come into the clearing, you probably just see him there, like curled up in the middle of it in the fetal position.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna pick you up now. I'm gonna carry you back to camp. Is that all right?
No, 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 no! And he flips over. He's got his daggers on. He's like,
Stay back! Whoever comes near me dies! Stay back!
Hey, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not
shit.
scared. I go and I try to like grapple the
It's not a
knife
threat,
from
it's a
the-
promise! It's not a threat, it's a promise!
and he just gets picked up like a screaming child. And
This isn't
Yeah.
funny.
I'm gonna just start heading back to camp. I'm like, you can't run away.
Ah!
Healing.
he's like not willing to stab her, so he just like is like smacking her on the back until he just like stops and just like collapses in defeat.
That's like all those times you carried me around work time.
Yes, suppose my skills seem to be shooting stuff and picking people up.
And would
They're
you
not
believe
bad
it?
skills,
Those are
they're
the
not.
skills this group needs.
You see, all my tantrums had a purpose this day.
No,
Let's
no,
go.
no, Utswa, no. People need to learn to handle emotion.
I
Jesus
do.
Christ.
I guess he doesn't go. I'm hungry.
Well, I'm sure they're cooking something up back at camp.
On the walk back, obviously, if you wish to have a conversation, please do. If not, you can just arrive back at camp. Flick, are you wanting to talk to these two new people? Or are you like, no?
Wasn't a threat, it's a promise!
Yeah, I know, you're gonna stab me, it's gonna hurt, and I'm gonna be
Not
sad.
me! Whoever comes close to me dies, I don't kill them! They just
Oh.
die!
Well, I've lived a good life.
Hey, oh.
What?
I lose my shop and I lose prey, but I don't want to lose you.
I'm not gonna die. People around you don't die. Everyone dies eventually.
Oh.
For
How many
God's
people around
sake.
me die now? Soon. Currently. Actively. Whatever
Yes.
you want to call it.
Synonyms. I get it.
I fucking love Greg.
I know.
Someone
we're
who
gonna
isn't full of nonsense.
We're gonna get you back to camp. I'm gonna put some alcohol in you, and then we are going to have a nice chat, and you're gonna feel better. Alright?
Can I have some alcohol too? I really need a drink right now.
We'll talk about it later. I think you've had enough.
I haven't even drunk anything.
You've got your
This morning.
bloodlust keeping you going. Let's just go.
Oh.
Ugh.
You're drunk
Oh.
on power, and I won't see it continue.
Alrighty. So with the group gathering all back together, the first thing that happens when you arrive back, a small winged lizard about the size of a cat unwraps itself from around meat sprinkles and flies over to Flick. And everybody, in your mind, you can telepathically just hear the words, "Papa," as it tries to cuddle back into Flick.
Yeah, I accept him back. And what everybody else didn't see is that before he threw him off, he'd say, I'll be back for you, whispered to him, and then threw him back at Mead Sprinkles.
Yeah.
Aw.
So, we are we've got about 5 minutes left before
I want
close
to
to
keep
wrapping up.
playing. I want to keep playing so bad.
We all do, but this is
Yeah.
what's going to make it more exciting for next week.
Ah.
Anybody have a quick final scene they would like to do?
I'm assuming Kid and Keldor
Mhm.
getting the wagons and a giant boulder as big as they can carry.
Yeah, we're getting that as soon as we get back. Kid is going to go to hopefully the come down from it Eliza, and is going to say
She is something.
Mhm. I'm going to say tomorrow, whenever you're getting ready for the day, can you prepare stone shape? We can leave behind a memorial.
I think that would be nice. Obviously, we've probably all been a wee bit distracted by everything.
Mhm.
Has anybody checked what's gone on? You know, with that whole like how the thing opened. You know, because that was the last tree, the last apple from that tree, and the is that there now? Like, I've not really been paying attention. You know, my spouse has just died, so um, I think we should probably find out what's going on with that. We need to make sure that we can plant that tree somewhere. So then, when this has to happen next time, things can occur. There's so many things to sort out and organize. It's a lot. But hey,
If there's anyone who can handle like a lot of different weird things happening at the same time, it's probably us.
you're right. So, I think a monument would be a wonderful thing to see what we can come up with.
Okay, because I had this idea. This is gonna be the
You
first
have
time he says
never
that.
had a bad one, so
All right. So no, we can't get too much good detail, but we could probably polish up whatever we can do here. We take this boulder, and what we do is, why don't we do it with primrose as best as we can make them, and let's put the let's have it to where they're holding just a chain of flowers in their hand, and underneath it we can sign it. And I was thinking we could say something along the lines of dedicated to Primrose, founder of the ones who killed the Sorcerer King. Because this isn't going to be just a memorial, this is going to be a promise.
well, when you say it like that, I can't really say no, can I? So, I mean, right now I just really, really want to get drunk. How does that sound?
Sounds amazing.
And as she
Wonderful.
says that, Keldor has a mug and puts it right in front of him.
Everybody, we don't have a lot of the Frost Giant Ale left, but you two have never had it before, and I don't even know what you do, I say, pointing at Utsua. But I'm willing to bet if you're traveling around with her, you probably got something that would knock my socks off too, but I don't know if I can take another bullet today.
I probably shouldn't. I might vaporize your head.
You know what? I'm willing to take that risk. Let's do it.
Oh.
Oh no!
And that is what we'll have to do next time. So, I think as a beautiful final scene, all the gathered around people, you'd all get your beverage of choice, and
Does
We're all gonna
Greg let
purposely
Utsua
fail our
have
fortitude
alcohol?
saves.
Utsua is a strong young woman who can make her own choices.
What is it safe?
so everyone will have their beverage of choice, and
Mm.
Eliza will raise her glass and just say to Primrose, "Can all have a a moment, and we'll get to start next session with everybody getting wasted.
Yay!
Sounds great.
It's only like the 4th time that's happened with us, honestly.
Exactly. So,
Only the 4th time in a year. That's pretty good. You know,
Yeah,
it's only every 3 months.
yeah,
I mean,
roughly.
you know,
Pretty
it's
good.
the game itself, like the in-game universe, has been going on for like just over a month. So, you know, you're going for about once a week. That's about right.
Yeah.
Every weekend we get wasted.
Alrighty, so I need to do sign-off stuff. Thank you everybody for joining us. We have been welcome to the party. You can find Welcome to Party on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and on Patreon. Most information should be down below, but for Twitter, it's at Welcome Party RPG here on Twitter, twitch.tv/Welcome Party RPG. The Patreon link you can get in the chat by doing !Patreon, and YouTube is youtube.com/Welcome to the Party. Would also like to give a huge thank you to our lovely patrons, each and every one of you. I'm one of them, which is weird because eventually the goal is to get enough people giving money, but I get paid. I'd be paying myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can.
In America, that's called being your own boss.
Capitalism, wonderful. Would also like to give a huge to our sponsors, Tabletop Loot. They make real good dice. That's the joke. Their dice is so good, you're not going to have any money because we're all mindless children who need to buy more shiny things all the time.
With those guys, are the prices there? What are they listed in?
The prices are actually quite reasonable, and yeah, they are listed in America.
Okay, so the $35 sets there, are those actual metal dice?
Yeah. If they say metal, then yeah, they're actual metal.
Well, I didn't find any that said metal, but I saw some that looked metal that were $35, and those were the most expensive ones. $35 American. And they looked like
it's one of those things I'd have to double check. I'm not 100% certain, but they have a reasonable price range. And I think their cheapest is like $7.
Sure, yeah, that's like way cheaper than most of the other metal dice sets I've seen around.
Oh, no, yeah, it's awesome.
Like, normally it's like $100 Canadian, and those are like $35 American, which is, you know, only like $200 Canadian. So, right.
So, that's them, Tabletop Loot. Go check them out. There's also Devon Rue, the Mistress of Maps. Check out her wonderful work. She has a Patreon and does all kinds of wonderful cartography. And I think she does commissions of things. So you want the same person who drew the maps for Critical Role. She'll draw your maps if you pay her. And
it needs work.
And also
needs work.
Yeah, everybody needs more work in this day and age. Oof. And also So Nerdwear for all of your nerdy t-shirt needs. Yes, me. I'm the Bardic Knock. I made this stuff up. It came from my brain. Let's call it that.
Okay.
I've got one. If you like my nonsense, you can find me on various places. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Patreon, all under the Bardic Knock. It's good stuff. Please make my number. Well, it's not good stuff. That's a lie. It's stuff that you might enjoy. There we go.
Emphasis and underline on the might.
There we go. No one can sue me for false advertising.
You're your own best salesman there, buddy.
So that's where you can find me if you want to support me. I do all kinds of various things. You know what? If you follow me on Twitter, you'll keep up with everything I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I just show up and do it. Other people who have things to talk about. Let's start with our newest person who has great things to talk about. Hey, Shan, where do I find you on the internet, and how can I give you money for doing stuff?
Well, I'm Shanologic across all the internet, really. And, I do perler art of nerdy stuff that's pretty fun that you can find at Shan's 8-Bit Smithy on Etsy. So, give me money there, or you could just straight up give me money on my coffee account, so...
I have no idea how to pronounce that thing. Like my mind wants to
Yeah.
go Kofi or Kofi.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, but it's coffee.
Either way,
Just
either
to
way,
give
if
you
you
an
go to
example of her stuff, she
oh
made
yeah,
this
I made
for
a spear.
me, which is freaking amazing. It's the weapon that Keldor uses, and
It's dope.
it's amazing, and I love it.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. I'm also gonna try and start doing perler covers for journals, and that's gonna be fun because I've done some bookbinding stuff, so I'm gonna test that stuff out, and I'll show you here live probably next time. I'll have a prototype.
That's so
I need to stop looking at Cody because he's really distracting me with his stupid fucking dancing. Other person who has stuff on the internet to sell, Archer. Where will I find you, and how can I give you money?
You can give me money on my Etsy page, which ironically is pretty darn close to hers, but it's Archer's Beadsmithy. And I do this kind of stuff where I make bracelets, hair clips. Basically, if you want it and it can be made out of a material, I can probably figure out how to do it. So yeah. And it's Archer Beadsmithy on Etsy. I also have a DeviantArt page. It's just Archer of the Eye on DeviantArt. Unfortunately, life's been busy and I haven't been updating.
Yeah.
But that should change, hopefully in the near future. No promises.
And then, Cody, we have your lovely artist you love to mention.
Oh yes, I
Who
do.
are
I
they?
love to make sure they get their credit where credit is due. The first person who wrote Kid, or sorry, not wrote Kid, drew Kid whenever he was fully armored and more emo than he is now. It was Thomas JB on Twitter. Does a very good job and does so very quickly too. Seriously, get a position with him as quickly as you can because they sell quickly. The other person who does his more anime thing with the multiple arms, the magic, and all that other cool stuff, that is Mikun19 on DeviantArt.com. Check her out anytime that she is currently commissioning. She is not at the moment because I think she's working on like 4 other things for me at the moment. Because I can't not commission her every time I have available funds. So.
And then we also have Rebecca. You have your DeviantArt page, do you not? To tell people to go and check out.
I do. It's
What
under
is it?
I'm getting to it. It's Lundana Lundana.
And that's everything. Cause I think yes, said all the things, done all the things. If you liked Welcome to the Party, check out the Discord link. So the server place. It's a place. Go there. It's fun. And we're gonna go raid somebody. Let's raid. I don't know who's on. Well, I know Castle Mac is always on at this time, so we're gonna go raid Castle Mac. I think they have just started their Storm King's Thunder game, and I'm still upset that it's not actually Storm Kong's Thunder, like the typo on the tweet said, because that would have been so much better.
Yeah, that would have been
So,
cool.
Time to
we're
fight the
gonna go
giant
raid.
storm gorillas.
Yeah, we're gonna raid Castle Mac, great friend of the channel, and